Well, we're jumping all over the place here, but we met 23 years ago, collaborated on the magazine. I don't know if you can share with, here's Miles and I goofing around downtown Austin. This was, he's holding this October issue in his hands. We're screwing around there, but this was, God, I mean, that must have been 22 years ago, probably.
Yep.
We've known each other a long time, had an interesting parallels of interest with paranormal, both of us, and just hats off to you. Great to see you and have you on the show today, man.
Thanks, man. Yeah, no, that photo shoot was fantastic, and that was where we had both of our black Beetles parked next to each other, and that was in a parking lot next, like everything in Austin. Where we were isn't there anymore.
No, that was actually where we were. Right there was where the old city Coliseum was,
yep.
And that became this now water park thing. Well, it's really part of the whole all new auditorium area down there on Barton Springs and Riverside Drive now down there. But oh man, not only have the times changed, so has the belt line around the waist there, Miles, for myself. But I tell you what, it's been a long ride, and I wanted to ask you, when we did that, this is what folks don't know, is my publishing career literally evolved from my collaborating with you and Cyborg Sam at the National UFO Conference. We did that program book, and that kind of, we'll let you tell this, Miles, but we were doing this program booklet for the 38th annual.
38th, yeah.
And that didn't happen. Tell folks a little bit what we were working on during the 2001 summer.
Yeah, and I think folks, if they want, can go to NUFOCED.com or .net, NUFOC. We got NUFOCed, if you recall.
We did get NUFOCed, and I have my producer actually has the promo, so I'm gonna let you set this up. So we're gonna play the promo for the event. But I've got some video that I'm gonna run for it, and I'll let you kind of set this up a little, how our paths collided in the summer of 2001.
Yeah. So after having met you, we really wanted to collaborate, and I'd taken on the responsibility for hosting this conference. It was going to be 3 days and 3 nights of fantastic UFO paranormal related speakers. And then it would go into each evening with a movie and then live music. And this is going to go on for 3 days, 3 nights at the original Alamo Draft House right downtown on Colorado Street. And it was going to be the weekend of September 14th, 15th, and 16th of 2001. And of course, that Tuesday happened, that dreaded Tuesday, September 11th, and the whole thing got scrubbed. But in preparation for that, you had experience selling ads for promotional materials, and by God, you sold ads for our awesome the program for the conference that had all the schedules and the bios of the speakers and all the information about the movies and the bands that were going to play. And so we had all these real awesome old school Austin sponsors who, their ads are in there in support of this amazing event. And then we produced I produced three different video promotional clips for this. All three are online at one of my many different YouTube channels. It sounds like you've got one of them.
Yeah, let's you want to talk over it, or you want to?
No. I don't want to talk over it, but I do want to say that even though the conference was canceled and it was tragic, from out of the fiery ashes coming to me going, man, we can do a newspaper. We can do a paranormal newspaper, a UFO newspaper. But as we both agreed, we were then living in the most parapolitical, conspiracy-oriented times in the wake of 9/11, in the fear that there was going to be, as there has been, an erosion of civil liberties in this country. And that's, you convinced me to start what you started as publisher, Austin Para-Times. So here's some video.
Well, no, I was telling my producer Carl to just cue up the magazines that you were just referring to. These were the publications, some of them that we teamed up with, and I just want to share those real quick before we before we play the video, because Miles alluded that we can do something here as of doing that program booklet. We can do a newspaper. We can make something that will educate people out of the ashes of the 9/11, literally, and this incredible event Miles had planned. He had this great idea. I mean, music, speakers, a film fest. It was really cool. We'll show the trailer. We'll come back to the magazines, but let's go ahead and fire off the trailer here that we collaborated on in that what would have been NUFOC 38 in Austin, Texas, Alamo Draft House. Check this out. Here we go. This is just great. The artwork, of course, by your friend Mac White, responsible for that artwork, and that's cool right there. Thank you, Carl.
Yeah, it just loops a few times.
It loops over and over there, but no, the great work from our friend, and I've known him only through you, is Mac White, the fantastic illustrator and artist. Did that work and would later do many of the several of the covers of Austin Para-Times magazine. But Miles, that is so weird. You know, the other day I watched Michio Kaku's podcast talking about dimensions and multiple universes, and these, you get a lot of strange theories out there, and you've heard some of these ideas of this, but I want to ask you about this because a part of me thinks that there's another Russell somewhere else, and there's another version of all of us where those buildings did not come down that Tuesday afternoon, and that our lives, it went on different courses. Maybe it's a slight different from what we all ended up on. I wonder what your thoughts on this, because I think that the publisher of Russell, the version of Russell that might be in the other world, might have still done radio or could have done something else. I don't know. But this version is the publisher, Russell Dowden. And after has anybody ever shared anything like that with you? Or have you ever thought about the time changing as of September 11th? Because I've had this thought that's what I think. I get chills as I talk about it, but you gotta know your thoughts on this, because you've got a thought about this.
Yeah, no, I was at one point I was going to write a book about 9/11 called 9/11 Anomalies, because there's like over 911 anomalies associated with the events of that day and the events leading up to that day. And I've been saying for years that I feel like that there was a bifurcation point in the timeline that occurred on September 11th, that we really got sent down an alternate pathway. And I know you and I aren't the only people who've had that kind of a feeling. And of course, we're both, as you were saying, familiar with things like the multiple worlds interpretation of physics, this idea that with every decision and every action, an infinite number of other alternate worlds are created. And it's kind of like there's so many different science fiction stories that have dealt with this idea, but it also has its roots in actual possible physical reality in terms of the quantum physics and such. But I really do feel like we are in bizarro world and just keep getting further and further from what you and I would come to think of as the foundational reality. And it's just gotten with every big major crazy event. But that one, for me, that was the one. And I know,